Let's welcome on board then our experts and figure out what to do in the last lap of today's trading session. We've got Kunal Bothra, Chakri Lokapriya, both joining in the show right now. Kunal, just a quick check on the market. Does it seem like we are once again going to sell into this uptick, or do you think we'll stay put with the gains?
No, in the last half an hour, we should not be looking to go into a negative territory, at least on the indices. It's been a good recovery, and it's been led by a lot of large cap names. So only one sector which is in the negative side, and that's the metal sector, where the price performance is negative today by 0.5% to 1%. But broadly, I think it's the performance which has come back across many large cap names, and I think that should probably be one of the reasons why the market could sustain. Now, the interesting bit is to look at yesterday's high, and we've not been able to cross over yesterday's high for the Nifty as well as for the Bank Nifty. So I think if we happen to do that in the next 1 or 2 days, where we cross back about 25,200, say for example, on the Nifty and 51,500 for the Bank Nifty, then I think we could be looking at a decisive reversal as well as a potential short covering rally for both the indices.
Okay, potential bounce back is what we are expecting at the moment. Chakri Lokapriya also joins us on the show. Chakri, hi, good to be speaking with you. Let's begin by discussing what's happening to Paytm today. A solid 11% rally at the moment, 13% actually. What explains that, and would you be a buyer at around 735?
Good afternoon. I'm sorry, I don't know why Paytm is really moving, so I wouldn't be able to comment on that.
We're all wondering, and we are having the same question, and we thought maybe you'll help us kind of understand that better. But barring that, if you're looking at the other internals and the other segments of the markets which are holding up, there is that outperformance coming in from the likes of Trent, which is of course now foraying into lab-grown diamonds as well as the mass beauty segment as well. What's the view on Trent? Because while we complain about the valuations, clearly people are willing to pay a price for growth.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I don't think we should really talk about valuations for Trent now. Yes, they are expensive. They will continue to remain so. And the reason why the valuations will continue to remain high is because they're coming out with these new products which appeal to the consumer, the target consumer. Here, lab-grown diamonds, Zudio, and all of that. The kind of widens the wallet share, and therefore I think the company's growth rates will continue to hold up. So I'd still be a buyer of Trent.
Okay. Still be a buyer at Trent. In fact, we did speak with an analyst earlier in the day to talk to us about at what value perhaps you see more benefits coming in, and whether there is a further upside to the targets that have already been listed out on account of the incremental business from the lab-grown diamonds as well as beauty. Hear out what Jignanshu Gaurav Bernstein had to tell us.
So the Zudio Beauty line is a way of creating an independent business. And I think there is a potential for that business to grow and add to the top line and hence add to the target price as well. I am also I'm also very excited about the lab-grown diamond business, which Westside has announced another brand name of POM. It is an unknown space in India, largely so far, but it fits very nicely with the whole consumer theme in India, which is about aspirational buying from consumers, but not every consumer can really afford a real diamond. So I think both these avenues that they have are net positive for the company. But today we are confident that 8100 is a good target price. With both of these giving potential upsides. We need to walk through the numbers to get to the potential upsides. Haven't done that so far.
Okay, Trent, 8100 could be a good target on this one. Already at 8007, that's Trent in trade for you. Kunal, how do you read into charts like this? I mean, not too long back, the stock was at 6,000. We're already at 8,000. And I mean, soon, before you know it, maybe a 10K level on this one.
Yeah, difficult to anticipate now that what level the price rally could hold for Trent. But I think it's been a fantastic chart. The last 3,000, 4,000 points has actually come with a very similar kind of a trend behavior. I think from start of 2024, the stock has been just about holding on to its 50-day moving averages. There have been periods where the stock has corrected 5%, 7-8% average, and all of those corrections have halted exactly at the 50-day moving average, which means we can expect very similar kind of a price trends going forward. that in case if the stock corrects, comes back to the 50-day moving average, that could actually be a good price zone to try and buy the stock. So difficult to anticipate at what price levels the rally would halt. But I think just because of the trend behavior, I think buying closer to the 50-day moving average could actually turn out to be a good strategy.
Yes, Trent has been a trendsetter and heading towards that 5-digit mark, no less, a 8% surge as we speak on Trent. But Vinay Rajani also joins us on the show. Vinay, Chakri wasn't able to help us understand what's really happening with Paytm on a fundamental basis. But what about the charts and also Ola Electric for that matter? Because when we started off the trading session, it was well in the red, down about 4-5%, but it's recovered most of the gains and it's actually comfortably in the green right now.
Yeah, so right now the stock is trading at around 736, 13% up. So yesterday's fall has been, supply has been absorbed and the stock is trading around the recent high. So definitely the strength is there. Stock has been forming higher tops, higher bottoms on the daily and weekly chart. So that's a good sign. So this is the stock from the new age tech company, which is holding very well and giving good returns. So I think one should stick to the strength, and the stock is trading very strong. And yesterday's low, which was around 637, so that becomes the strong support for now. So if somebody wants to take a bet from this level, then 637 should be the stop loss, which happens to be the yesterday's low. So one should continue to hold on to the long position and be with a trend, and this is the one of the stock which is showing great amount of resilience. So right now the trend is positive and stock is also trading above all important moving averages, and Dow theory also suggests that the trend should remain positive only. So in this is a resilient stock, and one should continue to hold on to the long position with a stop loss of 637.
Back at closing trades right here on ET now. Just looking at the closing trades, and they're maintaining their gains at least so far. Actually, no, a little bit of an ease off, but let's see whether this actually turns out to be one of those absolutely flat days and move everywhere kind of intraday move for the markets. Dixon has now perked up about almost 7.6% as we speak right now. India Mar has been doing very well, a 6% scale up coming in there. PFC is quite the buzzer today, up 5%, and Balkrishna Industries as well is seeing a good 5% kind of move. Chakri, we spoke about trend, but from the entire retail category, and let's throw in quick commerce as well, it's pretty much an arm of that itself. Where is it that you're finding value right now, and where is it that you would be confident of putting fresh money to work? Because DMart kind of formats clearly seem to be getting out of favor.
Yes, they have. You're right, absolutely right. But companies like Devyani, whether it's a Pizza Hut, they cater to both in-house as well as delivery kind of dining, and so does KFC. And so, those kind of formats still, they see some amount of footfalls. These stocks have corrected quite a lot. And therefore, I think the valuations are slightly more attractive for you to think, especially going into a season where the volumes will actually pick up.
See when the volumes actually pick up, but shifting focus to what's happening to Ola Electric now, because this is an important news flow, because sources tell us that Ola Electric related issues are actually catching attention of the government as well. The road ministry is looking into it. Sameer Dikshit is joining us with the latest on this one. Sameer, we've already seen CCPA take action against the company. There was that war of words that happened. We have been seeing videos of customers impacted and the kind of pile of scooters which are lined up at the service stations. What action is the government likely to take around it now?
So definitely, as you have mentioned, that government has taken the cognizance of the thousands of complaints that has been raised by the Ola customers, and in the same direction, now what we are picking up from our highly sourced places in the Road Transport Ministry, that the Road Transport Ministry is also looking into the issue of Ola Electric, the problem that is there with the electric two-wheelers. So they have taken the cognizance, and it is very likely that by this week itself, they will seek a detailed report from the company. So this is when it comes to the Road Transport Ministry. And it is also very important to note that Nitin Gadkari, the minister who is heading the Road Transport Ministry, is the biggest face of the entire electric mobility revolution. He has been echoing, he has been making a statement related to the electric vehicle in the country, and he is quite confident about it. And when the ground reality shows that the EV two-wheeler is having thousands of complaints, more than 10,000 complaints have been raised on the consumer portal, that is with the government. So now Road Transport Ministry has sprung into action. They might seek a detailed report, but as of now, they have taken the cognizance, they have sought the reports. And in addition to this, as you have rightly mentioned, CCPA, the Central Consumer Protection Authority, they have already sent a show cause notice to Ola on October 3rd, and they have sought a detailed reply from the company within 15 days. And they have raised the point that it appears that there is a clear violation of the Consumer Protection Act 2019, and it reflects to the part that there are problems when it comes to the claims that have been made by Ola Electric. There are problems with the deficiency of services. So these all serious problems have been raised. If you see the larger picture, thousands of customers, they have raised complaint of their Ola two-wheeler, whether it be related to the after-sale service, the claim that has been made by the companies. So that's the larger picture. But as of now, both the Road Transport Ministry as well as CCPA, they have come into action, and they are seeking a detailed reply from the company.
Yeah, I guess that seems to be also reflecting in the way the stock has been battered down almost 38% from its recent top. But let's just take stock of what else is happening in the market right now. We definitely have eased off a little bit from the peak, but trying to hold on to that 120 odd point gain for the Nifty futures and cling on to that 25,100 print. Although in the last few minutes itself, we've knocked off about 60 points from the top. While M&M is scaling up higher, it's a good 3% of a move coming in. HDFC Bank still is looking good. L&T is still holding out. ONGC also has made a comeback, as has been the case for both Reliance as well as SBI. So they are sort of trying to hold on to the recovery on the index. But Chakri, anything that you may have bought in the decline that we've seen in the last week to now?
If you look at, all these various names that have fell, power sector seems to be the most resilient. Companies like NTPC, today Skipper is up like 10%. These companies have the earnings momentum ahead with them. And because, broadly, as an index, you're seeing an earnings slowing down. So I would focus on the power utilities. They fell, but I still stay away from the power financiers like REC and Power Finance, simply because there is an uncertainty whether they will be required to fund the telecom companies.
That's the word coming in. Of course, a lot to watch out for in these allied sectors as well. But take a look at Skipper, for instance. That Nuvama initiation has had a positive impact. Tata Power, JSW Energy are reacting to that Nomura note as well. In fact, if we can, let's bring on Vinay as well to talk to us about what exactly are the brokerage houses talking about, because the entire ecosystem, despite the run-up that we have seen, continues to see fresh brokerage, optimism. You also have the power financiers, which have been, recently initiated coverage on by Motilal Oswal. So tell us, Vinay, what exactly are the brokerages talking about, and what's driving the optimism?
Well, yes, definitely power stocks are in focus as we have multiple initiation reports by various brokerage houses. Let's first talk about Tata Power. Nomura has initiated a buy rating with the target price of 560. Now, they expect that Tata Power is all set to deliver a 16% EBITDA CAGR over FY24, FY27. The growth will be mainly driven by the 2 times increase in their renewable energy capacity, and they also see a robust delivery of the 15,700 solar EPC order book and the jump in Odisha profitability. Moving on, Motilal Oswal initiated a buy rating on PFC and REC. For PFC, they have a buy rating with the target price of rupees 560, and for REC, they have the target price of 630. Now, what they believe is both of these companies are fueling nation's energy boom. Also, the investment opportunity in this space stands about 42 lakh crore and more. They believe that India is set to add about 250 gigawatts of new power generation capacity, and they believe that both of these companies will benefit from this as India is in the power up cycle, and these companies will benefit from power sector's capex revival. Moving on, Skipper, Nuvama has initiated a buy rating with the target price of 650. Now, they believe that the company is a niche player in pole position and is all poised for a powerful performance. Also, the proposed NEP with an indicative capex of about 9.2 lakh crore, along with the global way of RE transmission, will support Skipper's growth. Skipper is also stand to benefit from immensely from the domestic and export order intake tailwinds, and they're expecting a sales and EPS CGR of 26%, 50% respectively over FY 24-27 with an EBITDA margin of 10.5%.
Those are some buzzers in trade and how the brokerages are upgrading some of these stocks. But Vinay, just want to get you in on some of these buzzing charts. Skipper, for instance, which my colleague just highlighted.
Yeah, so Skipper has hit an all-time high today. 513 was the high, and the setup is quite strong. So this is one of the mid-cap and small mid-cap stock. We can say it is into clearly uptrend. So despite the weakness in the markets and the mid-cap, small caps, the kind of sell-off we witnessed in last 3-4 sessions, this stock has been very resilient and looking still strong. Yesterday's low, this is almost a typical higher top, higher bottom formation on the daily chart, and yesterday's low is at 440. So that becomes the strong support. So looking strong on the charts, and the entire space that we have been discussing now. So entire space is into an uptrend. So this is one of the stock which is looking strong and likely to outperform the mid-cap space in the coming days. So looking very strong, and as far as short-term support is concerned, I think 440 is a very strong support for the stock, and trend is clearly into a bullish side.
Right, okay, Chakri, we'll let you go on that note. Thanks as always for taking the time out. Kunal, let's have your closing ideas.
So I think in terms of the closing trade, I would look at one of the few larger cap names which have been doing pretty well for itself today, HAL, and that's a chart which has bounced back from its 200-day moving average, forming a double bottom at the 4200 mark. So that would be a stock which I would suggest as a buy.
Okay, and Vinay, what's your closing idea?
Yeah, so I would go with the pharma stocks. So Glenmark Pharma looks very strong on the charts, and today pharma stocks, the entire sector has been outperforming. So I think considering the primary trend, I would go with the pharma space, and Glenmark Pharma looks very strong on the chart. So around 1718, one can initiate long. Stop loss can be kept at 1690, and upside target can be seen at 1760. The second pick I would like to take is from the IT. So IT is looking convincing to me, and one of the stock which is strongest amongst the all is the Coforge, which is trading around its all-time high. Coforge level is around 7280, so around that level one can initiate fresh long position for the trading. Stop loss I would suggest at 7150. On the higher side, I'm expecting a target of 7480. So these are the two stocks I like for the short-term trading purpose. So with the strict stop loss, one can go along with the mentioned targets.
Right, okay, we're going to take a very quick break and clearly that sort of 2 p.m. move has kicked in because we've given up most of our gains. We're sub the 25,100 mark, so it's been quite a bit of cool off that we've seen from the top. Take a break, be right back.
There comes a time when your heart calls for you to arise. Plant your feet solid into the ground. Decide your own limits and then break right through them. Become something more. It's my time to rise.